Here's your survival guide to AS Business Paper 2. AS Business 2 is much more challenging than Paper 1. You've got a little bit more time, but 50% more marks than Paper 1. And what's more, there's 2 case studies to read, 10 short answer questions and 4 short essays. So it can make a lot of students feel like this.
Houston, we have a problem.
Having marked hundreds of these exams, I've seen many higher ability students come unstuck by bad exam technique, but also students with more limited ability overperforming because of smart exam strategy. The good news is that Paper 2 always has the same structure and types of questions. If you master the correct exam technique and prepare thoroughly, you can walk into the exam confident and ready for anything that the examiner is going to throw at you. There's so much crucial information, I'm going to split this video into 2. In this tutorial, we're going to see the structure of the paper, the skills you need to focus on compared to Paper 1, and how to answer each of the short questions. In Paper 2, we will look at the structured essay questions and top tips for success. Paper 2 is 90 minutes long with 60 marks, so that means you've got roughly 1.5 minutes per mark. So in 2-mark questions you spend 3 minutes, 8-mark questions you spend 12 minutes, and so on. The paper is effectively split in 2, with 2 case studies, like so, and usually the same combination of short and longer questions, so spend 45 minutes on each case study. The most recent past papers from 2019 generally went with the 2, 3, 3, 8 and 11 questions, but they can also put longer 4-mark questions among the short answer questions to start the paper. The biggest difference between Paper 1 and Paper 2 is the allocation of marks for knowledge and application. Paper 2 is much less about knowledge and is really focused on application to the business in the case study. Therefore, allow yourself some quality time to read the case study and underline the key points before you start. It also doesn't do any harm to have a quick look at the questions so then you know what you need to focus on when you're reading the case study. So let's take a look at how to gain full marks in each kind of question on Paper 1. 8 questions. Usually these are knowledge questions. There's no reference to the case study in these questions, so it's not necessary to put in application. The first question is usually a 2-marker and it's designed to settle your nerves. Get 2 points down and move on. In this case, public sector is an organisation that is owned and controlled by the government. Part 2 asks you to explain the relationship between a mission statement and a business objective. The mark scheme asks for 3 different elements in this question. But if you have something like, the mission is the aim, but the business has specific targets called objectives to reach that aim, that's going to be enough to get you all of the marks. Unlike Paper 1, you always have 2 short calculation questions on Paper 2, nearly always question B, Part 1. It's easy to spend too much time on this question, so set yourself the limit of 5 minutes. The calculation itself is usually straightforward. Finding the figures can be difficult. Write down the formula to guide you. So labour turnover is the number of employees who left over the total number of employees times 100. Here you can see the full working out, which gives us the answer of 18.5%. You don't need the percentage sign to get full marks, but it's always good practice to put it in. If you're feeling super confident or you're really running short on time, you can write the answer only and then still gain all 3 marks. But if you make a mistake, you'll get nothing. So writing down the working is a really good insurance policy. But it might depend on how lucky you feel.
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
You will be rewarded 1 mark if you write down the formula correctly, 2 marks if you just make 1 mistake, for example, forgetting to multiply by 100. We have free downloadable guides to calculation questions at AS level on the website, and also a ratio hack sheet to help you revise all those difficult financial accounting questions. Just go to caiebusiness.com. Question B, Part 2, is normally based on your answer from the first part. In this case, labour turnover of 18.5. It doesn't matter if you got your answer wrong, you'll still be awarded marks for application if you interpret your answer correctly. For this answer, you need to identify a disadvantage and explain in context. The disadvantage is increased costs. Because the workers are highly skilled and trained, JS will have higher recruitment costs when they leave. So that's short answer questions done. The key for short answer questions is clear, concise, and in question B, context. As you can see from the exemplar solutions, less can be more. You don't need to write long answers to gain the points. Your objective should be to get through the short answer questions quickly and accurately so you get enough time to complete the longer essay questions and then you don't run out of time in the second case study. Remember to subscribe to stay updated and head to caiebbusiness.com if you want to take your learning to the next level. See you next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.